What's up guys, welcome back to the HQ build. Last episode you got to see our engine finally come together and get painted, and you got to see it with the amazing covert beige cover on it, and we got a pretty good sneak peek of how it's all going to look when it comes together, and we're super excited. So we're jumping straight into it. A few things we've got to sort out first before the engine goes in. Not a lot, because we're going to leave the guards off for now so we can still get at all the firewall things. We just really want to get the engine and box in and start getting a few things dummied up. But we do still have to swap out the manual steering box for the power steering box, something that should have been done ages ago, but we'll get it happening. Pretty keen to see how it goes with our Astro electric power steering pump. I must say that the yellow tonner with the power steering, just with the LS, I don't know, mechanical power steering pump, it feels really nice. It's definitely the nicest it's ever driven. Yeah, it's really good. But anyway, let's get smacking into it. Righto guys, so I've got our heavy duty atomic flex plate, the Suit Turbo 400 here ready to go. But one thing we are doing obviously is using an FG sump, and we do not have an FG sandwich plate. And this is very important because in the BABF, you use this little window at the bottom to do up your torque converter bolts. But obviously with the FG sump, this window doesn't exist. So the FG sandwich plate actually has a bigger cutout for the starter, which comes all the way down to the block and follows the block edge, so that you can do the torque converter bolts through the starter hole. So the next step is obviously to modify this flex plate so that it's going to suit and we can actually get our converter bolts done up for our new red diamond converter to suit our new flex plate. So I'll go ahead and cut this out and trim this up, ready to go. And then we're getting pretty close to getting the box and engine into this thing for the final time. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo. She's getting real, guys. She's getting really real. So as well as our atomic flex plate, we've also got our red diamond converter. So again, guys, this combination, because we didn't want to make heaps of power, we really tried to size and spec everything just so that this thing would still be a bit of an animal. Much like our cruiser, you know, a G35-900 with a T4.8 is relatively small for a Barra that's making power. It should be coming on pretty good. From what we've seen from these G-Series turbos, we reckon it's going to be very, very good and responsive for this setup. And the T4.8 should be pretty comparable to the T3106, which is the stock housing size on the Barra. But with the G-Series wheel, obviously we've got that little bit extra efficiency to get a bit more flow happening. So easily going to make our power goals, but should be on like that. It should be really, really responsive and nice. And then obviously with a really nice converter for our Turbo 400 and then our 325 gears, this thing, even though we're only aiming for sort of 600 horsepower, it should be just a bit of an animal, just on the, yeah, right off the converter. Just should be wanting the turn tires. It should be awesome. So we'll get our Turbo 400 in this thing. This is our 500 horsepower rated Turbo 400. We're pretty happy to push it a bit more than that, but that's what it's built for. But yeah, this thing should be the berries, the beans, the goods. So I have already explained this in a previous episode, but if you're new to this build, this Turbo 400 was actually a Rolls-Royce Turbo 400.
A Rolls-Royce.
A Rolls-Royce. It's one Rolls-Royce and one Lamborghini machine.
Two Rolls-Royce.
But our gearbox builder actually reckons that the Rolls-Royce casing was actually noticeably different to any other sort of casing that he's used. He reckons it was the casting dags and stuff on the inside had all been smoothed out. Obviously with Rolls-Royce being hand built, they obviously pay a lot more attention to that. So anyway, just some interesting trivia for you. It worked perfectly for us because obviously we had to cut the bell housing off and put our Barra bell housing on, so we didn't need a you know, a turbo bolt pattern or a standard Holden turbo bolt pattern as you would call it. So it worked perfectly for us for our application, which was good. It was like right at the right time because these things are so freaking hard to get at the moment. It's ridiculous. So we did get this built right at the right time. So when we're talking to you guys about the problems we've had with this hoist since it was installed, this is what we're talking about. And this is a lot better than it was, but this is the sort of thing that really pisses us off and freaks us out about this thing. And no one can figure out why it does it, what it's doing, and honestly, the manufacturers have been basically no help, the people we bought it from. But the people we bought it from do have like a third-party technician that comes out. He's pretty cool, but he can't figure out what it is. And outside of that, the manufacturers have been useless with actually trying to figure out what the frick it is. Alrighty guys, I would have liked to have gotten a lot further with this thing, but unfortunately I'm just out of time before having to do this move and everything. We've got a heap going on at the moment, it's insane. So the plan was to try and get this done for Christmas. A few things that we're still waiting on which are going to hold us up as well, and I've got to go away for a week. So we'll dive back into it when we get back. It's going to run over into January, but it is what it is. Not a big deal. It's come this far. It can go another month. The main thing is that we are just smacking through this thing pretty much until it's finished. And look at how good it looks. We are so keen to see this thing sorted. So the biggest thing we are debating at the moment is whether to run raw stainless line or black braided line for all our braid. So all of the lines are going to be braid or hard line. There's going to be no push lock or anything like that. The only rubber hose is going to be the AC stuff, which is mostly going to be all hidden with the wiring. So yeah, all braided stuff. Now originally, obviously, as you've seen from a lot of our builds, we tend to stick to all black, black fittings, black line. It's generally what we buy, it's what we've got in stock. But considering we've got a few things on back order that are going to hold us up anyway that we're waiting for, we are considering actually going to stainless braid instead of black, just to try and tie in a fair bit of the raw and stainless stuff together. But I don't know, we'll wait until we get our inner guards and stuff back in and see how it's looking and make the decision then. Anyway guys, nice short and sweet one today just because of the events and timing, but tune in for the next episode. We'll be starting to get this thing a lot further along really quick. I'm really looking forward to it. It's so exciting. Righto guys, I've been sitting on this content for a number of weeks. Obviously with what happened over the break and the way December went, it was just crazy. And then obviously with the giveaway going on with the 80, I've been really trying to push the four-wheel drive content. So I've been sitting on this for a while, but since the last episode came out of the big KingBarra, obviously you guys saw we used a heavy duty timing set, and with that came a heavy duty timing chain tensioner. Now, since I posted that video, I've had quite a lot of people that are very well versed in Barra stuff pretty much message me and tell me that that timing chain tensioner should probably just go straight into the bin. Lots of failures, not even making it to the dyno sort of thing, from people that I trust very well. That, as you guys know, we don't work heaps with Barras, well obviously more so LS stuff, so when people that know Barras inside out tell me these things, I listen. So I've ordered a new OEM timing chain tensioner, and as much as it sucks, I'm gonna have to pull the engine back out, but obviously it's much easier to do it at the moment. Now, we haven't started putting all the panels and stuff because they're nice and safe up, covered up. Not only that, but until we get our gate shifter thing sorted out, as well as our surge tank built, we didn't want to have the guards in the way. Now, at the moment, with all the stuff already not on the car, it's much easier for us to pull the motor out now rather than do it later when that fails. So just gonna go ahead and pull the motor, change that timing chain tensioner over now. It's going to be easier in the long run, and then obviously we can start or get back to where we were with this thing and keep smashing it together. Which brings me to my next point. So this has been a very frustrating thing to try and get sorted. A lot of bum steers, a lot of people fobbing us off. It's been very hard and frustrating. It's been a big roadblock. Not only that, but there's been a few other little things with this car that have really been playing on our mind as far as just being a roadblock, trying to understand or figure out how we're going to actually get these things sorted out. Now, me and Rex went down the coast yesterday and had a very nice, enlightening meeting with Dominic from Sancho Goes Makerspace and Luca from Clueless Creations. For those of you who are big fans of the Skid Factory, you will probably already know who these people are. And we had a very good meeting going over the design and the production of this piece, and not only that, but also the capabilities that Luca has and the size of the printing bed that his printer has and what we can actually use it for and do with it. So we are finally on a path where we're getting somewhere with this thing and getting it actually built, and it's very exciting. Obviously, these guys know a lot more about the production process than we do, and because of that, the design does have to change slightly just to make it easier to produce. So it was nice to actually have a conversation with, people that are really well versed in that area and can actually point us in the right direction. So it does mean we are going to have to prototype it again, which is annoying, but obviously if it means it's better than sitting here waiting for stuff to happen. It's been very frustrating, and because of the way December was with how much stuff we had going on, it just felt like we couldn't get anywhere with it. So it's been really awesome to get that done. But not only that, another big thing obviously with this, which we've talked about, is the grill. So the HQ grill is a problem because it doesn't fit with our intercooler in the nose cone, and our plan was to try and cut a HQ grill move the actual grill face out so that we've explained it in the series before, I'm sure you've seen, and then try and plastic weld it. And we were sort of dreading that because obviously HQ grills are hard to find, they're expensive. We don't know how to plastic weld. We pretty much have to teach ourselves how to plastic weld. Not to mention we'll be trying to plastic weld, teaching ourselves to weld plastic on 50-year-old plastic of a very rare, hard to find grill. Now, Luca's 3D scanning and the applications of what he can do is awesome, and his print bed is big enough that he can literally just 3D print a new grill for this thing. So our plan is to take a HQ grill down, have it 3D scanned, have it modified exactly how we want it to be, and then obviously just have it 3D printed so that the grill just goes straight in. We don't have to plastic weld, we don't have to do any of that. Not only that, but obviously if it's a custom grill, we can work in some cool little accents to really put a personal touch on the car. And there is a few other things that we're gonna get done in the same sort of vein as well. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw this in at the end of this video because, like I said, I've been sitting on this content for a while and I want to get this latest episode out. So at this stage, a little bit to go, but as we talked about, what's left is basically just bolt-in stuff. It's just that we've had these little roadblocks and it's been so awesome to actually finally get some progress and have some people on board that are really interested and keen, just as keen as we are to see this sort of done and working, which is awesome. So that's where we're at with it. Our plan, at this stage, I want this freaking car at Rocky Nats. If it's not at Rocky Nats, I'm gonna eat my own shoe. So yeah, that's what we're working with at the moment, working towards. Trying to smash it through. We want it at Rocky Nats. That's what we want done. So anyway, I'll just waiting for this tension to get here. We'll sort that out and then we can start getting this sorted. I've got to do a few test pit-ups now that we've obviously had the conversation, had the meeting, and we both on the same page. A few more test fits with these to get some more photos and footage so that these boys actually can sort of really visualize and see the concept working. So tomorrow I'm going back down and we'll get back into basically a newer design and hopefully get it 3D printed and pretty much hopefully by the end of the next week we're sort of starting to move towards actual production of this piece. So exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. It's been a long road, but yeah, it's just having those roadblocks was really playing on our mind, and now that we've got someone or a way around and we can see the light at the end of the tunnel, it's very, very motivating and looking forward to it. Anyway guys, just thought I'd let you know, give you up to date. Thanks for watching as always. We'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to head to the merch store, check out the merch. Now we're offering up to 5XL, so there's bigger sizes there now. You can go into the draw to win yourself an 80 Series Land Cruiser, HJ80. If you haven't already seen that, go check it out. Anyway guys, thanks for watching as always. We'll see you on the next episode, which will hopefully be right around the corner. And yeah, we'll see you then. Peace out, see you, bye.